No. Greetings, my name is Jake, and, welcome to Fire Emblem Awakening. Yeah, I'm gonna play through Fire Emblem Awakening, and the reason is, I hate this game. I really do. I mean that sincerely. I know hate can be thrown around very loosely and just mean, you don't like something, but no. Fire Emblem Awakening is a game that I hate. There's very few Fire Emblem games that I like, but there's even fewer that I actually hate, and Fire Emblem Awakening is one of them. I have negative nostalgia for this game. I should clarify. This was the first Fire Emblem game that I played seriously. I had played Path of Radiance for a few chapters. I had rented it back when video game rental places were a thing. Played it for a few chapters, and then I played Lin mode of at Fire Emblem 7 a little while after that, and then Eliwood mode started, and I thought, why is Eliwood the protagonist now? Why is this horribly generic nothing person the hero now? That's awful. But then I played Fire Emblem Awakening, and I played through most of it, and I really enjoyed it, and then I would start, I would go into the cycle where I would start a new game, and I noticed that, looking back, I noticed that all of my playthroughs, they ended quicker and quicker, and I think, I like to think that the reason for that was I was cognizant of all of the many, many flaws in pretty much every aspect of this game that that really sour everything about it. There's very few parts of this game that I don't think are mostly bad. The music is really good. I think the character art is for the most part pretty good. And I think that's it. And I thought about putting together like a video essay or just a normal written out essay about why I don't like this game. But I think it would be more comprehensive and fairer to kind of go through these points as they come up. And I also want there to be more nuance to my critique. No, we're not doing that. I don't want this to necessarily be constructive, but I want it to be... I want to explain in detail why I don't like this game. I want to go point by point and explain the sort of things that I look for in games or in fiction, and I want to use examples from other games of where, things that Fire Emblem Awakening tried went better, or other examples where they didn't work. And so I really want to do a deep dive, so I'm going to be experimenting with not exactly post-commentary, but more pre-commentary, because a lot of maps in Awakening are just, open brawls with very little going on. So I think when I have a lot to say on a particular topic, I think it would be helpful to have that going at the same time as the gameplay. I think that would be the most efficient use of your time, so that you're not just like you are now, just sitting on a blank screen, listening to me talk. So yeah, I hope people who like Fire Emblem Awakening don't automatically hate me for this, because I will be giving Awakening credit when, for the good things that are in this game. But I want to explain in detail all of my problems, and I'm not going to be above making jokes, and I'm not going to be above making petty criticisms, but I mostly want to focus on big structure, like big important problems. And I'm going to do my best to try and distinguish when, it's just a petty complaint or it's something more serious than that. Yeah, so let's get going. I'm going to play on hard, because that's hard is kind of easy. Lunatic is just stupid. I'm going to play on classic, and I've already planned like a lot of this out. But I guess we should start with the first thing I don't like. Yeah, I don't like avatars. I think they're really bad. I think they're awful, really. And a lot of people give Robin credit. But I don't know. I disagree with that. I think Robin is, in as many air quotes as I can manage, as good as he is, or they are, I should say. Because the story, Awakening story, is constructed around their existence better than New Mystery was, which I still need to play, and I want to play New Mystery, not only because I haven't played it, but because I think it was the proto-Awakening and had many of the same problems that would bloom in this game. Yeah. But anyway, I will go into more detail of why I don't like Robin as they become a parent. So I won't focus on that too much right now. There we go. Yep. And I'm going to do this for a very specific reason. And speed, luck. Yep. That's what we're going to do. Oh boy, are you excited? I'm not excited. I'm not. You know what? I am. I've been looking forward to doing this. So here we go. And the game starts as it means to go on.
This is it. Our final battle.
God. I see a lot of people really praising the CGI cutscenes in Awakening. And to be fair, there's good stuff in there. Like, they're well animated, high fidelity. This isn't too bad, but I really feel like they're just horribly directed and kind of dumb. This isn't too bad, but it's so... I hate to use this descriptor, but it is very anime. And there were parts of previous entries that were very anime, but... Man, Awakening went for a really different tone. It's like they wanted to take the feeling of, I don't know, Radiant Dawn Endgame 2 and just stretch that out over a whole experience, because, oh boy. Actually, now that I think about it, that is a good comparison, because that also featured magical bullshit barrier. Anyway, I'm not going to do voice acting, and that's not only because there is voice acting, but it'll keep things condensed. You can read through it if you're not already intimately familiar with this game. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, tutorialized, yeah. Yep.
Listen to me.
This is like
Right.
Lin mode levels of tutorializing. It's really bad. It's
On my
I think games are better when they don't expressly explain every facet of them. But what do I know? I'm not a professional game designer. Sure. Oh wow. My computer does not like magic. Okay. Gonna have to look at that later. Okay. That's great. Oops. I do like that you can't fail this. I mean, I guess that's fine. I mean, I really shouldn't complain about a tutorial, but I think games can do a lot better with... they can do a lot better than this.
This isn't over. You all right? That's the end of him. Thanks to you, we carried the day. We can rest easy now.
At long last. What's wrong? Hey,
This is not your fault. Promise me you'll escape from this place. Please. Go.
I have several questions. Most importantly, why does this opening exist? Why does the game open like this? I mean, it opens with the end, effectively, and there are ways to open a story with the ending. You know, Halo Reach opens with how the game ends. If we want to go more highbrow, Citizen Kane ends with how the story ends. But you know, those are setting up a mystery or establishing a tone. This is revealing a mystery. I mean, sure, there's the mystery of, like, why did a wet fart stab Chrom? But it's already pretty apparent. They got hit by dark magic, and that allowed Valadar to influence them. And evidently, with the evil laughter that is not accompanied by Valadar's corpse, you know, that Psyche has then taken over a wet fart's body. I just don't understand why this exists, because the game later on tries to establish intrigue. They're like Lucina says, Lucina says to Chrom, like, oh, it said you were killed by your best friend. And even without the context of this opening, you'd fucking know it was a wet fart that killed him. It's just so blatantly obvious, but then you, the player, already know it. So there's no mystery involved. There's no intrigue to the intrigue. Why? Why does this open like this? You know, using Halo Reach as an example, it begins with the ending of your character's death. But you already know that because it's a prequel, and it was established in the first Halo that Reach went south horribly, and you know that, and so as you're playing, you think, well, all of this is meaningless ultimately. But then you get all these moments of like, oh, well, maybe they can do it, and you start feeling hopeful, only for those hopes to get crushed, and then the story shifts not for the protagonist to look out for their own sake, but to give hope to others and hope for the future of humanity. And it works, and it's poignant. And Awakening doesn't. It doesn't. It opens by openly revealing its mysteries. Why does the game open like this? It gives everything away. I don't understand. I mean, sure, you don't know exactly how Valadar is taking over, but why? Why does it do this? It's one of so many moments in this game that just feel like they wanted to do something cool, or maybe they thought up the CGI cutscenes before they thought up the plot. And this is really incendiary, but how you begin a story is of paramount importance. You know, in films, the first shot usually is a metaphor for the rest of the movie. It's so important, and I just really feel that Awakening fails. And I get that some people don't care about looking at things this deeply. They just want to be entertained, and on some level that's fine, but as will become increasingly apparent, this is why I don't like this game. Jesus.
Chrom, we have to do something.
What do you propose we do?
I don't know.
I see you're awake now.
Hey there.
There are better places to take a nap than on the ground, you know. Give me your hand. You all right?
Why does Chrom feel the need to wake someone who's taking a nap? I mean, I guess it's bandits. They don't want him to be caught by bandits, but I guess in your lease, currently, you just can't take a nap in a field. That's a small complaint. Not gonna worry about it. It's just really dumb.
Thank you, Chrom. Huh?
This is so dumb. Why? Like, amnesia is already a bad enough trope to rely upon, and you can definitely make use of it. Like Disco Elysium makes good use of amnesia. So does the original Amnesia, The Dark Descent. But this is why this trope is so derided, because it's so lazy. And why does he remember Chrom's name but not his own?
What?
What?
Yeah. Whatever.
Explain.
Yeah, that's stupid. Thank you, Frederick. That is stupid.
Right. Right.
Huh? Huh?
Ah.
I am not delicate.
Ah, she said the word. She said the word.
Hmm.
This is a small thing. But is Frederick ever called Frederick the Wary again? Is he ever called that in any support or any line in this entire game, including the DLC? Because I don't think he is, which makes his title pointless. It's just something that they say to make it sound cool. And I mean, yeah, I guess he's wary of things throughout the entire game. Not as much as he is with a wet fart. He treats a wet fart way worse than he does, like, Valadar. So that's weird.
Right.
Yeah, you wear it with pride, but you never bring it up again.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I named him that. Why does he remember it? This is pointless. It's just a way to explain to the audience what happened, what this world is like. That's the whole reason, and I know that's the whole reason. And there's nothing inherently wrong with trying to do that. It's just the way that it does it is so bad. I need to be more constructive, but this is a really weak opening. There's so many better ways to introduce a concept than this.
Really?
Chrom!
My lord. Of course.
Oh.
Hey, look, it's Chrom's wife.
Gods! Chrom! Good. Shall we then?
You know, now that I think about it, this would have been more effective as a tutorial and as an opening without the whole premonition bit. Like, just cut that out. Then you have an actual mystery as to who a wet fart is. Then you have, like, an actual map to play on to explain things. This is a really bad opening. Okay, so here we are. I'm not going to complain too much about you know, bandits attacking a town. It's a Fire Emblem game. And this really is trying to be Fire Emblem the game. Case in point, you've got someone with a G and 2 R's in their name who's the bandit leader, just like, oh, what was his name? The guy from Shadow Dragon, and anyway, I can't remember his name now, because who can remember anything about Shadow Dragon? Jesus. Yeah, I will, okay, so I've been saying a lot of negative things, and I want to, and while I believe everything that I've said, I want to start with some positives, because there are some positives that I actually like here. Skills, actually. Not really a fan of how skills are handled in this game. Gotta say, I do like Dual Strike and eventually Charm, because this game has a theme of friendship. That's pretty much the only thing it has to say about anything, is friendship good. And Chrom being a leader who relies on his allies, you know, not only in the story, but in his skills. That's good. I like that. That's good story gameplay integration. Similarly with a Wet Fart Veteran, you get more EXP when paired up with another unit. Again, that makes sense. Amnesiac, you know, therefore learns from other people. So, and again, the whole friendship thing. So if you make use of pair up, you get rewarded for that. That's good. I like that. I'm not going to be using pair up that much because it breaks the game. It was completely unbalanced in this game, and at best you could say that, you know, your forces have the power of friendship, and so they team up and coordinate, and that's how they win, and that's why they're better. But I mean, any military anywhere in history, you know, after the Middle Bronze Age, use combined arms tactics, or even when they didn't, they fought as a unit. So yeah, pair up is dumb. So I'm only gonna be able to I've set some limitations. I am gonna allow myself to use it because it helps with supports. It can help with enemy phases and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm only ever gonna pair up a unit for enemy phase. They can't attack, and they have to separate thereafter. So that way there's a punishment to doing it, and I have to take the time to separate them, and I lose something because of it. And that's much more risk reward than reward, as long as you like enemy phases. I hope you really like enemy phases. That the game really does. I think all this text is kind of unnecessary. I mean, it's a tutorial, so I guess it's fine, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like this. Frederick is here. Frederick's great. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, guess we're locked into that. That's fine. Ooh, my computer does not like this. Okay. All right. I may have to tinker with the settings afterwards. 7, 11, no. That's not enough. So... only 67%. Great. Oh boy. Oh, she's a chugging with that one. Goodness. Only 3 damage. I guess that's fine then. If we get a dual strike, maybe he'll kill. Nope, no such luck. It's fine. I gotta say, the early game of Awakening is pretty... just from a gameplay point of view, it's pretty... I don't know, it feels so bad. You really get the feeling that the units that you have aren't very strong, and neither is the enemy, but I really feel like the enemy outpaces a lot of the early game units, and combined with their personalities, that's why I don't like most of the shepherds. But whatever.
Right.
All right.
Are you ready?
I guess it's also not helped by the weapon triangle being weaker for lower ranks than it is. It follows the Shadow Dragon method, which in that game made sense because there was no weapon triangle in the original, but in this game I just don't feel like it does anything. Also, there's no weapon weight or anything, which I think this is a bit of a shame. I think weapon weight and constitution and concept like that really add a lot to the game. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this. Let's go here.
Thank you.
Weapon proficiency. That's actually useful because she starts with E, which is bad. Also, I just noticed that. Why does everyone start with E? Holy crap. Also, no magic triangle, which I think is kind of disappointing. Yeah, that's good. I know I'm probably not playing optimally, but who gives a shit? Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some experimenting to sort this one out.
Right.
No, I don't think... Yeah, you don't double. You would do damage to Lissa. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'll do that. Well, Frederick, clean things up if we need to. Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Hey, level up. That's a pretty good level. Of course, this is Awakening, and growths are inflated, and that makes stats really inflated, and that makes gaining a single point less significant because it's just... Wow, she even dodged. Cool. That's neat. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna... We'll try that. Lissa dodging really helped out there.
Are you ready?
Oh, more fucking dialogue. Why? And why are they explaining the menus? This is bringing non-diegetic elements into the diegesis, and if you don't know what those words mean, then I envy you in some respects.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Also, where the fuck did Wet Fart study this? Why? Like, I understand that he's a tactician. Why, though? Because now that I'm thinking about it, that doesn't make sense with who he is as an individual. But, whatever. That's fine. Just gonna... Yeah, gonna get rid of you. an attack. Oh, you've got more defense now. So I think we're just gonna put you here. Seems good. Heal up.
Thanks. Stay focused.
I haven't gotten any dual strikes. That's weird.
Look out.
Oh, she actually would have survived 2 hits. Interesting.
Listen,
Why? Why are you talking more? Why?
Yeah.
Yes, friendship is important. I get it. Thank you. Yes, yes, dual strikes. Yeah, I've noticed.
Well,
Yeah.
hmm?
Yes, yes, I get it. Because you... Like, I know a lot of games explain everything about their mechanics, and there's, you know, for a very complex game, it's not, you know, it makes sense, but why? If you're gonna just say it, just put it in a fucking tutorial box, just one box or have like an in-game glossary. I really don't like all of this useless dialogue because it doesn't convey anything about the characters. It just at best reinforces their personalities as they're explaining things. Just put it in a text box. It's not that bad. You don't have to do that. Anyway, enough bitching for now.
as one.
Right.
Some kind of level on you. That's unfortunate. Oh well.
My steel is yours. Well fought.
Alrighty. Actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to turn other animations off. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get it going. How do you do? Okay, you don't kill him, so that's useful. I'm actually gonna give... No, I'm gonna give that to you. Experience, that's good. Alright. I guess one nice thing about the weapon triangle being weak early on is that Fletcher can just smash everything with a silver lance. Wait, does Garrick know he's fighting the shepherds? Because he said here sheepy. If he knows he's fighting the shepherds, doesn't he know he's fucked? Whatever. That crit chance is actually kind of high. Well, let's risk it. Hey, nice. Yeah, I mean, it's not... Okay, so from the map perspective, it's not the worst. Wow, that is a shit level. Holy crap. Yeah, it's a functional first map. I'm not going to complain about the map design too much. Would have liked if there was some terrain, but it's fine. It does fine. Oh. And here we see one of the first reasons why I really don't like avatars. Like, there's supposed to be a player insert there. That's the whole purpose. And they really just have to, like, gush praise over you because they wouldn't... think that players like it otherwise. Like, let me be shit early on. Like, wow, you helped out, but you're lucky those bandits weren't so tough. And then you give me something to work towards. Then when, you know, I reach the end of the game and I'm super powerful, or you know, a wet fart is, that feels good. But to start off just feels cheap and insincere. And like, Frederick is standing right there. I'm no Frederick. Whatever. I don't know, have a personality?
Right. Right.
Neither can the game. I wonder how many spies have killed people from their own nation in, you know, maintaining their cover. Probably a lot. Just something to think about.
My lord. It's all right.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah. Huh?
really?
Right.
My thanks.
Huh? What?
Yes. I know it's kind of petty to complain. It's very petty to complain about that sort of humor, but I kind of have to. This game has a dumber, sillier, lighter tone than I like, or that I think fits some of the stuff that was later on. I don't know. I won't dwell on it too much. I think this game's approach to humor is very flawed. Yeah, but he has a spear. Small point.
Yeah.
Shall we then?
So yeah, that's the prologue. It's fine. It does its job. It's simple, and this game is simple, and it's silly, and this game is silly. So there's worse. I have problems with it, you know, on a lot of levels, but we're not into the worst of it yet. I forgot it sent you right into the world map straight away. I don't like the world map. I'm not completely opposed to it in concept. It's just, compared to like Gaiden or even Sacred Stones, I don't feel like it does a whole lot. Nothing else yet. So yeah, let's start with chapter 1. I should have saved.
Hey.
So my problem with this early double billing of silliness is that it's not that the main characters are being silly. That's not just my problem with it. It's that it's so forward. Because if you go back and you look at, or you play, like the Arcana games, which have no personality, or if you go to, hell, even if you go to the Game Boy Advance games, which do have a dumber, sillier tone than the games that surround them, there are silly elements to it, but it's not brought up in the main story. You know, it's not all doom and gloom, but it's played more straight. Even in FE7, which has a very silly, juvenile tone, there's segmented silly moments that appear throughout the story, but the main story itself serves to be played straight. And that's what's different about Awakening. Awakening starts off with the silliness. So, like, what's a good example? Like Ike. Ike has some supports where, things are more lighthearted. Or Ephraim's support with La Rochelle, which is completely ridiculous because La Rochelle is a stupid, ridiculous character. Those silly, ridiculous moments, not only are they to the sideline, both Ike and Ephraim play the straight man in those situations. And even the supporting cast, generally play the straight man in their supports as well. Seth is very serious, Mulder is pretty serious. I know Mulder's not a main character, but I'm just trying to think of similar early game characters to these ones. Ike plays the straight man, whole hog in Radiant Dawn, and in Path of Radiance, he's very subdued. And so the benefit to that is that you get to have silly moments that don't detract from the experience because they're on the periphery. And while the main characters are taking part in them, they're not prompting them. And Awakening does have some serious moments. There's a lot of this game that's generally played very straight. But having this ridiculousness at the forefront makes this the established baseline of, how the characters begin. And I think they lose something in that. I think they lose something, what if in this scene they took this opportunity to explain the layout of the world to a wet fart? That would have been really cool because you would have gotten to see their perspectives on, different countries and different areas, and the player would get a sense of the landscape and the texture of the world around it, and it would have, established the player, and it would have been, and you could have had, some jokes in there, or Lissa is meant to be very naive and not used to this, and you could have had that, and hell, you could have had Lissa learning things at the same time. That would have been a better way to introduce it to all of this. So when I have frustrations with the ridiculous tone, it's not that it's being silly in and of itself. There are those trademark silly moments in other titles, and you absolutely can have, you don't have to be serious all of the time. You can integrate that really well. Disco Elysium is ridiculous, and then it hits you really hard with really serious real world problems. It's really good in that way. Metal Gear Solid 3 uses camp to disarm you for the more serious character moments, and so I'm not opposed to this sort of lighthearted fun. I just think the way that it was implemented, how frequent it is in the opening, and how the main characters are partaking in it undercuts a lot. Like I said before, you know, how you begin your game is really important. How you begin any medium is important. Even music. If you look at the first album by Joy Division, and then again the first album by A New Order when they reformed after Ian Curtis's death, you know, the first songs on both of those albums begin with each instrument coming in sequence. So you get used to the drums, you get used to the bass, you get used to the guitar, not necessarily in that order, and then you get the instrumentals. And it's establishing how the rest is going to go. It gives you an introduction. So the opening in any medium is important, and I really think Awakening falls flat. And I hope being this serious about this and going into this much detail has alleviated the headache of, you know, my previous petty concerns. I really am gonna try to cut down on that, but I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna express myself, and just like I think, you know, other games should be, I'm gonna have moments of silliness, but I'm gonna do my best to do them better than this. So let's just keep going.
Forgive me.
Why would you wake Lissa instead of Frederick? Frederick could help you out in many more situations than Lissa.
Huh?
Listen, run. I mean it. Go. This way. Listen, you better stand back. Right. Quite an entrance. What's your name?
Okay, my computer did not like running that cutscene. I'm gonna try to fix that in post, but I'm sorry if that wasn't what you're used to. Yeah, my computer is not enjoying this. So I think that cutscene, that CGI cutscene, does a good job of really explaining my problems with the way cutscenes are handled in this game. Because we're on chapter 1. We've had two maps before this, but this is the first chapter of the game. And already we have, something tearing down entire forests, lifting the ground up. There's lava spilling everywhere. It's completely ridiculous. There's no build up to this scale, and so it's utterly meaningless. That cutscene has made any future feat, any future display completely meaningless because of how grand in scale it was right from the get-go. Just full tilt, non-stop, just constant. And I have smaller complaints like the anime fighting style and the fact that Lucina, sorry, it's Lucina, whatever, is just holding against the axe, and the Risen is not, bringing the axe back and then swinging from a different angle against an opponent who has turned their back to you, or the fact that Chrom, that's small stuff, that doesn't really, that matters, and it's part of why I don't like this game's cutscenes, but more importantly than all of that is the fact that the sense of scale, the sense of build-up, the flow of action is completely wrong. Because it's just constantly trying to shove as much cool stuff as possible into every scene. Like, take a look at Radiant Dawn. Like, the first CGI cutscene that opens that game. Is it a little ridiculous? Yeah, you got, South kicking and, jumping in the air and doing everything, and it's not, perfectly directed and everything, and the voice work, well, better than Path of Radiance isn't. But there's build-up to it, Then, at the end of Act 2, you get another CGI cutscene that's a little more ridiculous, but it's still, it's stylized. It's like a stylized realism where it feels like things could happen that way in this world. And then you get to then things actually kind of settle down with Part 3 because you get the CGI cutscenes of big battles, and you get big forces moving against each other, and that's how you do build up. That's how you so that when you get to the end of the game and you've got Ike fighting God, it has a better sense of payoff because there's pacing within the story structure. Anyway, I just like that I like that because it makes it seem like Liz is worried about her wet fart. Also, there's the whole foreshadowing thing where it's clearly Lucina has Chrom's sword, and they completely gave that away. And sure, you're not going to pay attention if you're more focused on the lava and the trees and how cool everything looked, but yeah.
No. Right.
Yes. Oh,
Right.
And now they have to explain how terrain
I
works.
see.
Because they can't just have it be there because obviously there's something there. They can't have it like mouse over and just be one scene. It's just... Anyway, chapter 1. I don't like this chapter. I don't think I ever really did. Just something about the flow of it feels wrong. Especially with who is arriving soon. I don't like the formation because Frederick can't get to the forts, and I guess that's fine, but whatever. Yeah, 3 damage is good. And he'll kill him on enemy phase. That's good. I'm actually going to use a sword instead, just in case the axe person goes for me. Bring Frederick. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to do that, so that we can use Frederick on player phase next time. Bring Lissa down here. That seems good. Yep, that's why we do it.
Never fear.
Oh, great. Oh, well, that's nice. As my computer suffers. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and then everyone rushes you. And so you really do just have to cling to the forts. Oh.
Captain Chrom.
Hold!
Hmm?
Heal ye.
And like now we've got a third silly scene in a prologue and a chapter. This is what I'm talking about with the frequency of these events. And you know, previous Fire Emblem games had a lot of joke characters. That's not what I'm complaining about. I'm complaining about this prolonged comedy dialogue
What in the...
interrupting chapter 1. Like in Fire Emblem 7, Eliwood mode, you begin with Rebecca and Lowen, and they're kind of silly. Rebecca's not too silly. I mean, she's not... But Lowen's, you know, he's got his hair over his eyes. He talks about food all the time. It's just, that's, you know... And then you go into the supports, and then they be silly. That's how you do it. You know, start with something serious, then introduce the ridiculous on top of it. What the fuck is going on here? Seriously? Like, Virian's not even a bad character. You just have to go into his supports, and it's backwards. You should establish him as a good character first, and then have those silly moments, or figure out a way to balance it better than this. Sully's not a good character. Virian is, but not Sully. How long is this going on? Like, you know in Fate's Conquest Chapter 6, I think it is, where Silas and Corrin have a long talk about, like, potato salad or was it chowder? I think it was a chowder. And it's just like, why? Do you think that can wait? Anyway, so then Virian's got to explain how bows work, even though other games didn't do that. And Sully is really bad. She has a really bad first impression because you put her against axes that have really good hit rates against her. And I think, let me see here. Yeah, so she could die if she gets hit by all 3 of these enemies just on this side of the map that all rush towards you. This is a bad map. This is very poorly designed. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna do that. All right. Good. And I think I'm gonna go here with Frederick. Trade those that so that now the archer's still gonna go for him, but at least he'll retaliate. So I guess that's good. That'll do 4. And I'll do 5. And that'll do. Oh yeah, he's fine now. And then really, yeah, it's just advancing doesn't get you anywhere because Virion, okay, he could do 10 damage to this guy, and then Sully does 8. That's not enough to kill this, so you have to turtle. You have to stay back. And that's just, I mean, it's exemplative of how the rest of the game is going to go too. So I guess it works in that regard, but just this is representative of what's wrong with Awakening Design, because I can't leave. I mean, I could have put Sully on there, but it's better to just do this. Oof. Okay, nice dual strike there. That helps at the very least. Okay, that's fine, I guess. And oh, yeah. So now if the axe unit crits, I die, which is great for chapter 1.
Yes.
To be in a situation where you die if you get crit, that's fun. Oh, I guess there's no critical. Okay, so I take back what I said. Well, to some extent. And like, yeah, like I'm in a forest. I don't know. I guess it's fine. I haven't. Oh, but then this guy moves in as well, and I think he has a hand axe, right? Yeah, he has a hand axe, so. I mean, again, I guess Chrom's just in the safest position here on this fort. And so you don't move. There's this whole side of the map that you don't use. There's all of this stuff all around here that's completely going to waste because you're just reacting to things that happen around you.
I'm right here. You're going down.
Okay, I didn't exactly want that to happen.
Your every move was poetry.
But, okay. I guess that's fine. Jesus. No. So, I think what we'll do... yeah. Let's do... Use Frederick for that.
Predictable.
Oh, that's good. Another good level up on Chrom. That's nice. That's going to be very helpful. Yeah, let's do that. Heal him up. Very glad I got rid of those animations. Alright, that's decent. That's okay. And now... Yeah, that's good. So, like, that's an effective use of player phase, and that feels really good. It feels really good to make use of every unit you have, but this game doesn't really let you do that all that often. The game also loses something by having enemies be just, you know, random zombies. I don't like that. I can't even remember if dual attacks do half damage. No, that was a Fates thing. Yeah, because Fates basically took all of the weird, wacky, experimental elements of this game's mechanics and made them not bad. Wouldn't have minded a dual strike. It would have been nice if it happened automatically, like a better game would have done. Get some experience on Lissa. That's good. Oh, I didn't. I wanted to just check the damage. Okay, I guess Chrom's getting this kill then. That's fine. Yeah. Or if Chrom misses, I guess Furion can get it. That's the best that this chapter has felt in a long, long time. And it still wasn't that great. Yeah, that's what men look like.
Thank you.
You may call me Marth.
I really hate that I keep sighing, but another element that I really, really dislike about Awakening is its sycophantic, quote-unquote, fan service. Which just means name-dropping concepts that it's, like, openly recognizing that it's falling into its own archetypes with no additional commentary on it. It's just... This isn't the worst example. We'll get to the worst example, but I really think... I understand that Awakening was meant to be, or was planned to be, the last in the franchise, and they really wanted to bring back everything from this series that they could, but there are better ways of doing that. Like, I think Dark Souls 3, which people complain that it has a lot of elements from Dark Souls 1, I think it did it better than Awakening because Dark Souls 3 has a really strong sense of antithesis. And I mean that in the literal sense. It is the opposite of how things normally happen. So there's a Siegmeyer stand. Is this Siegmeyer? Yeah. I can't remember which is which, but there's, you know, an Onion Knight that you know, that in the first Dark Souls, Sieg. I can't remember his name. Is it Siegmeyer? Is it Siegmeyer in the first game and Siegward in Dark Souls 3? Is that what it is? Anyway, in the first game, he descends to attack some monsters first before you help him. And in the third game, you descend first to attack a monster and he helps you. I don't feel like Dark Souls 3 gets enough credit for the way it handles old properties for the most part. I think it does a much better job of Awakening, where Awakening just brings things up and doesn't really comment on them or use them in an interesting way. It's just, hey, do you remember Marth? I don't, because he's barely a character even in his own games. But yeah, and it's sad because there's better ways to do this, and then it makes the game feel cheap as a result.
Really?
And also, you would think that a lot of kids would be named after lords. I mean, how many people are named George? Or Elizabeth? Or Henry? I mean, it's really common to use... Or how many people are named Jesus, for that matter? You know, it's really common to use names. You think this wouldn't be weird?
No.
Yeah. Horrible calamity. Think of all the things that Lucina could have told them. Like, hey, the exile's life is in danger. You know, there's a dark cult coming out of Plegia that's gonna, I don't know. Time travel in any fiction is really hard to get right. Really hard, especially for prophecy and things like that. But I don't like the way Awakening uses it either. All right. With all of that said, I think I'm gonna save here, and this will be enough for right now. Thank you for joining me. If you managed to sit through this entire thing, well done. There's gonna be a lot of episodes that are this talky and this negative, and I know that's not gonna be fun for a lot of people. But I really hope that you stick around. I'm going to try to keep doing this better, keep getting better at this. And yeah, I'm planning right now to get one of these videos out a week. That's the pace I'm planning to go at this point. Yeah, but in the meantime, I've been Jake. This has been Fire Emblem Awakening. Have a good one.